What's going on, fellow fixers? I'm Jeremy and I'm a fixer, and if you like learning how to fix things, then this is a channel for you. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. Today's video, I got something interesting for you. If you have watched this channel for any length of time, then you know that I have a 2006 F150, and it is just the basic model. It's got crank windows, power, nothing, and one of the things that have missed the entire time that I've driven this truck is the cruise control. So this is just the very basic Ford F150 XL 2006, and you'll notice right here there is nothing where the cruise control should be. Now, I've been hearing and seeing for a long time that these trucks come fully equipped with all of this stuff to make cruise control work, but they don't have the buttons and they're not programmed for it. And so after watching a few other YouTube videos and reading up online about how to install them, I'm going to give it a shot. These buttons were about $43 on Amazon. I will put a link in the description. You can go check them out there if you have any interest in doing this. Again, this is for the 04 to 08 F150. And they're relatively simple, my understanding, to install them, so I'm going to give it a shot. The other thing that you've got to do is you have to have the truck programmed to activate cruise control. Like I said, from what I've been reading is all of the trucks have everything to make cruise control work installed by default in the factory. It's just not activated, and so you have to program the computer to activate that. Now, I've called around to a couple Ford dealerships. I think I found one that will do it, but I also found a third party that has the Ford software, and he says that he can do it. So the buttons were $43, and the programming from third party is going to be about $100. And I figure it's worth the $140 to give it a shot and see if I can finally get cruise control in this truck. There are a lot of things that I don't miss about having a non-power window, non-power truck, but one of the things that I do miss, have always missed, is cruise control. So let's get to it. Now, first thing that you need to keep in mind is there is an airbag in this steering wheel. What we're going to do is I'm going to pop the hood. I'm going to disconnect the battery. I don't want there to be any chance that this airbag is going to go off. So I'm going to disconnect the battery, and then it's pretty straightforward. I'll show you how to get into here. I believe it's just 8mm bolt is all that you have to remove, and we'll see if we can get it done. I went ahead, I disconnected the battery. We got no longer do we have power running to the truck. And the way that you get into this dash area or this steering wheel area is if I show you right here, you see this little circle right here? There's one of those on either side. You have to pop those covers off, and that'll give you access to an 8mm bolt. And that 8mm bolt just holds on this front part. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to use a knife. I'm not going to cut it. I'm just sort of going to pop it open with it. You can see here this little piece just pops right off. 8mm driver. Maybe. Question is making sure that you don't drop this down inside the dash, or the steering wheel, I guess I should say. The other thing I wanted you to notice, I don't know if you did there, is you're not going in straight like this. You're almost at an angle, tilted more towards the dash to get the right angle on that bolt. And just like that, it comes off. I'm just going to set this right up here. Now, looking at this kit, you can see here there's this connector and there's this connector. See if I can get it to... And those connectors are basically right here. You have to disconnect that. And right here is where the big connector will go in. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take these off. And my understanding is that there's another 8mm bolt back here. So let me see if I can get those off. There is no way you're going to get these off of here without having a little wrench like this, because you can't likely get a ratchet in there. There's just not enough space. Keep that in mind if you decide to do this, that you want to have one of these little wrenches available. And this is going to take a long time. They're on there pretty good and you don't have much room to spin the nut. Let me turn you off and I will come back with you whenever I get these off. You can see how little those nuts are. I got one side off. Once you get it off, this little filler piece just pops right out. Let me go ahead and get this other side off. I got the second one out. Let's go ahead. We will slide these in. Well, they go in there really easily. Let's see if I can get these bolts back on. I think it's going to be a little more difficult with these bolts because it's got this connector on it. It's going to have a lot less travel. I'll be back with you again. I'm back and I'm sweating because it's 90-something degrees in Florida. But I got the buttons on, and the hardest part of that whole process was just how little room you had to work. I literally was going about a quarter of a turn for each turn of the wrench. It just took a crazy long amount of time to get them in there. But I got the buttons in, and now it's just a matter of swapping out the connectors. So let me see if I can set you up where you can see this. Okay, so the first one is right here. And what you'll notice is that there's a little clasp that catches right here. So in order to get this off, I'm going to go get a screwdriver. And I'm basically just going to have to pop this little tab up. And it should come right out if all goes well. May not even need, okay, I didn't even need a screwdriver, just use my fingernails. But that piece pops out, and this piece can pop in. And then I can take this, and I'm just going to tuck it back down out of the way. And now I'll do the same thing with this one. This one's got a push connector. So basically right on top, you just push in on that and pull it straight out. Same idea, I'm going to tuck it up here out of the way. And I'm going to plug this one in. And that's it. Just like that, I've swapped out those buttons. And I'll make sure that I don't crush these wires when I put it back in. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put these bolts back in. I'm going to do this one over here first, just because I seem to have more room to work. I'm going to tighten it too hard, just so I have a little bit of wiggle room if I need it. Okay, same idea over here. And I know you can't see because I'm blocking. All right, that one went in. Tighten it down good. Put my little covers back on. Just like that, I've pulled out these cruise control blanks, and I have put in cruise control buttons. My understanding is probably whenever I turn this on, the lights in here will light up, but it will not function until I get it programmed. Let me go ahead and reattach the battery. All right, so I'm actually on my way to the local Ford dealership here. I actually know one of the technicians that works there, and I talked to a third-party guy that said he could probably program it. So I ordered the buttons, and guess what? He went ghost. And we're leaving on a trip. I really would like to have cruise control, so I reached out to my buddy up here, and he thinks he can do it. So we're gonna go check it out and see what happens. So this is the moment of truth. I haven't brought myself to push the button, but looking at the instructions that were sent, or that I saw on the website about activating this, there were some elements that weren't there on the computer screen when he went to program, but there was a speed control, I think is what they called it. And so he went ahead and activated the speed control, or enabled it, and did its programming thing. And so in theory, this should work. Let me hit the on button. No go. Doggone it. Oh, wait. Okay, so I hit the cruise control on button, and the light did not come on. But whenever I just hit the set button, the dash light came on. Now, I never tried pushing the set button before. I just tried hitting the on button. So I'm going to get going down the road here and see if I can enable the cruise control. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I would have thought that something would have come on whenever I turned the cruise control on button on, but maybe not. I'm going to spin around and get back on the major highway. And by the way, this is a dash cam I'm using, so if the quality is not well, I apologize for that. Alright, so let's get my speed up to about 55, I think is what the speed limit is here. Here we go, 55, set. I can't believe it, but it's working, guys. I hit the set button and it is maintaining 55. Let me see if I hit the coast button. Coast button works. And if I hit the off button, it turns off. Alright guys, so there you go. That was a $42 part to do it, and it took me about 25 minutes because of those tiny little nuts on the back of the blanks. But just like that, I paid the guy that programmed it 50 bucks. He was happy to get it because it was just side money. And now I've got cruise control. So there you go. About $92 in, and I've got cruise control now. So I am super excited. Listen, if you like learning how to fix things just like this, then go ahead and hit subscribe. Hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any of the videos. And here's another one you can go check out. I'll see you over there.